All right. This ball is long gone, just like the ex-girlfriend who will never return. Home run. He's a bona fide scrub. He cannot play the game of basketball. What does that mean? According to the cast, sports accounts for over 40% of the overall television viewing market. Sports Today is the leading shareholder of television-based entertainment. Let's be real, we all know this. The Super Bowl, World Series, NBA Finals. You don't even have to be a fan to know what this is and to know that this holds the grasp of everybody. Sports journalism is amongst one of the most important fields in the entire entertainment landscape. Today, sports are worldwide, and with the reach comes along the necessity of knowledge. Journalists in sports today keep people accountable, whether you're an athlete, an owner, doesn't matter who you are, keep you accountable. They provide opportunities for people with different backgrounds, and it can be some of the most entertaining work for people who are interested in sports or who are interested in covering the news. So, what makes accountability necessary in sports? It's not politics. We're not talking about Donald Trump and Joe Biden fighting over the presidency. We're talking about LeBron James and Kevin Durant putting a ball in a hoop. Why does accountability matter? No matter what in its form, journalism is journalism. Sports is not immune to controversy, whether it's because of owners or athletes. And as a reporter, it is one's duty to make sure that people don't take power abuse to extreme levels. An Ohio woman in June 2020 saw a court order after repeated threats from the Cincinnati Reds pitcher Trevor Bauer. You may or may not know him. So according to her lawyer and records obtained by the Washington Post, photographs identified the woman who had her interaction with Trevor Bauer, showing a bunch of bruises, and later revealed that she had a bunch of like fractures and stuff like that on her face because of some sexual encounters that she had with Trevor Bauer. This is kind of swept under the rug for a while, but then it was brought up because of the lawsuit that she was filing against Bauer. Now, why am I bringing this up? It seems so irrelevant. Journalism has the power to ensure that justice is brought to light and to make sure the abuse of status that many athletes and many moguls in the business go through every single day. It exists anywhere and everywhere. Journalism has the power to make sure that it is identified and stopped. Sadly, sexual misconduct especially ends up being one of the most unreported forms of abuse in entertainment because of how helpless victims may feel because of the power that the aggressors have. A USA Today survey of 843 women in the entertainment industry found that 94% of women say that they've experienced some form of harassment or assault. That's just crazy, dude. 94%. That I want to just make like a simile, kind of bring it like, but I don't need to put that in perspective. That's just an insane number. Like 94%. That's over 9 in 10 people. That's just insane. Entertainment is such a vast sphere where like there's a bunch of different things. There's music, movies, television, drama, sports. It's like very different. We all understand that, but sports is still no stranger to controversy. While the 94% may not directly correlate to how sports are handled, there's various cases of this happening today. You have Trevor Bauer, but you also have Deshaun Watson. Many NFL players get scrutinized because of this. You have people like Tyreek Hill who abuse their children, have all of these terrible cases, and that doesn't even account for steroid scandals, murder cases, all these different types of things. Look at OJ. A lot of people believe that he should have been convicted, but that man is walking free right now. So not only do these athletes choose to ruin the lives of people, most often women, sadly to say too, but the victims are afraid to speak up because of the certain hate that they will get because of coming out and because of being strong with their stories. Now, unfortunate news in sports isn't uncommon. One facet in which people can take solace in, however, luckily, is that sports journalism does provide many opportunities for people of any walk of life. The sports journalism world, it's one of the few places where race, gender, or orientation is not going to hold you back if you have the talent and if you are willing to work hard. Stephen A. Smith is one of the most well-respected people in the sports world today. Not just entertainment, sports, just sports. He right now he has according to the Washington Post, sorry, the New York Post, he is being paid around $12 million a year. $8 million for his personality that he has on multiple ESPN shows, but also his $4 million contract that has to do with his production with an ESPN. Why does that matter? He, Stephen A. Smith, is known to be one of the hardest working people in sports. He, throughout his entire career, has fought. He's gone through every single hurdle that has to been through just to even get a chance to make him. He was hosting his old community college's sports broadcast for free. He did it for free just to hopefully get his word out there and to practice and hone in on his skills. All of his hard work that he had throughout the years makes this man now the highest paid ESPN reporter and broadcaster that there ever has been. It's very deserving. And this man, he's got all the success that is well deserved. This example of Black excellence is what we need today to fuel future generations and let them know that who they were born as will not define or hold them back. This is not going to stop you because your skin color looks different than other people's, because you have different thoughts in your head, because just because you're different doesn't mean you can accomplish the same, if not greater excellence in whatever you want to do. So now, talking about this, let's also talk about some recent news that actually just broke, I believe, on May 10th. As reported, it is said that Tom Brady will receive a 10-year, $375 million deal to be a sports personality for Fox Sports. Why is that important? The beautiful thing about sports journalism and this field is that success, it doesn't matter if you want to get it through one way or another, you can always somehow correlate it to the success in this field. Tom Brady is one of the most well-respected people in all of sports. That's just the truth. He is, for almost everybody you ask, the greatest of all time in football, no debate, and one of the greatest of all time athletes. This level of success that he's attained obviously was because of his work ethic and his way of working hard. Now, why is Tom Brady getting this big contract? His mind is amongst one of the most just complex and most understanding thinking of when it comes to the sport. So his contract makes sense. Him getting paid this amount of money is just his hard work and his ethic, along with his superior skills to many other people, just getting rewarded. Because that's what it is. He's just getting rewarded. And although that number is big, just to put into perspective, according to the sports database website, Spotrac, a website that tracks a lot of sports statistics, whether it's actual on-field or off-field things, they say that he made about 302 million throughout his entire 22-year playing career. So that means when his time in the NFL is up, he's gonna have made more money in 10 years with Fox Sports than he will with the entire NFL time. So now, the men and women in this field obviously have worked hard and they earn money because of their dedication, hard work, and knowledge. One thing that can be said about most, if not all, professionals, though, in sports journalism is the emotions that come with it cannot be replicated in any other field of entertainment. I don't care if you're watching your favorite TV show, you're watching your favorite movie, it doesn't matter. You cannot replicate, even try to emulate what happens in sports, because sports is sports. Nothing is like it. Sports are a beautiful breeding ground of raw emotion and joy for many people. And oftentimes it provides the escape that many of us need in our daily lives. In a post by the LA Times, they had a survey in which Dodger fans could vote on the best Dodger memories. Keep in mind that this organization was founded in 1883. The 9th greatest moment in Dodgers history was the last game that Vin Scully, former Dodgers broadcaster, broadcasted at home. This guy never picked up a baseball glove with the Dodgers. He never wore that blue logo on a jersey. He was never running on the field. He never had that blue cap on while fielding ground balls. That wasn't him. But you know what he was? He was the man who 6 times out of 7 in a week, you turn the TV on, you're stressed from work, you're stressed from school, you have all I don't know, your girlfriend broke up with you, you have all these stresses in the world. 6 times out of seven, this man made you forget that. This man just made you think about that one sport that maybe you played as a kid, maybe you're still playing now. He just made you think about that and made you think about how fun and how great of memories it can create for you. This man conveyed emotions in just a single words. Just his words. And his words, it's time for Dodger baseball. Those are some of the most nostalgic words that you can ever tell somebody. I promise you. Go grab a 70-year-old Dodger fan right now. Vince Scully, tell him those words. That man's gonna break down crying. It's one of the greatest spectacles of all time. So, thinking about him being ranked 9th, it's not all that crazy. You could even make a case for him, a broadcaster, making a bigger impact on Dodgers baseball, one of the greatest sports organizations ever. It's just bigger than baseball and it's bigger than sports. So at the beginning, why did I talk about some ex-girlfriend leaving some baseball? I don't know. Why did I talk about some guy who can't play basketball? That's just what sports journalism is. It's the place that makes all the sense while you have two guys past their mid-age debating on if a 52-year-old Michael Jordan could be a LeBron James in his prime at basketball. It's a place where an all-women broadcast of a sporting event can happen and that can be common. It's a place where goodbyes can make you cry. It's a place where toxicity can come to die. It's where the voice can have a voiceless, a place where the misinformed can be kept up to date. Where those who are willing to seek something breach something. Sports journalism is a representation of the values and beliefs that many of us hold today. Sports journalism is a beacon of truth, fun, excitement, mourning, sadness, mystery, and hope. Sometimes you may not notice it, but that newspaper article or that 7-minute segment on ESPN3 may not mean anything to you at all. But for many of us, including myself, it's how we get by on daily.